So, this morning, someone asked me if I had ever experienced a Kundalini awakening. And my initial instinct was to answer that question intellectually, like consider, comb through my past experiences, take what I know of that concept and see, like, have I had anything similar to that? And as I was doing that, I felt a little offness in my system. And I realized that the much more accurate answer would be to feel into it somatically and to tune into the concept of Kundalini awakening, tune into my understanding of the energetic signature of that particular gift or event in life, and notice how I respond to it in my system. So when I tuned into it, I felt a pinching off in um, my second chakra, in the back of my second chakra, at sort of a lower point than normal. So, like a little more in between the second chakra and the root. I'm just like slowing down to be with that, as I actually have like a pinching off now in the back of my heart. So I'm imagining there's something in my heart right now that is tender, or is aware that I'm intending to share this with a wider audience. And so I'm just going to slow down and be with that pinching off in the back of my heart first. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah. And when I feel into that pinching off, it's like this, like a really sad feeling. Like, do we have to do stuff like this? Do we have to share stuff like this so that we are lovable? um, and then when I hold that frame, that realization, the pinching off in the back of my heart feels hurt. There's a pinching off in the back of my third chakra, where there's like feels like some like deep identity issues, like some of that ingrained I'm not enoughness. But as I talk about that, I feel a pinching off in the back of my fifth chakra up here in my neck, which for me tends to be a protector. That, like the part of me, so throat chakra is where you speak things into being, and I have a very faithful protector that is really good at filtering, like when something may not be safe to share. It is an advocate for, let's keep it to ourselves. So I'm gonna be with. So, well, I'm having this experience right now of, like, you plug the cartoon where like you plug a leak in the boat with one finger, and then a leak comes out of another place, and you plug it. So I be with that with my fifth chakra here, protector, and it feels a little soothed. And then I feel again pinching off the back of my third chakra. And I'm just noticing the sensation in my body, which for me, I developed this level of connection with my body simply through corresponding, almost through paying attention to what is happening in my body, and then having some sort of a response to it, whether that be how I move my body or how I allow my body to move, or through thinking thoughts. Because a lot of the times what I find is that one of my primary creative tools, or like the ignition to basically everything in my life, is the thoughts that I'm thinking. And if the thoughts that I'm thinking are not in alignment with what the whole of me is desiring, there's going to be some resistance there, there's going to be some strife, there's going to be a disconnect between my conscious mind and all the unconscious function of my being. So I'm just feeling my body and noticing its response to my attention. And so, like, when I The protector in the back of my neck is active again. Giving it my attention does soothe it a bit. But there's the fact that it's still there to me indicates that there's something it's wanting to tell me. There's some wisdom in my body that I am cognitively unaware of right now. So I just kind of slow in and feel into that. When I feel into the pinching off in the back of my neck, I feel this like beautiful heartache in my heart. Like, I think it's there's some association with expressing myself uninhibitedly and it leading to heartbreak. So saying that it clears the resistance back here. There's still some of that heartache active in my heart. For me, I associate something that is happening in the front of my body as like kind of ripe and ready to be worked with. It's not like a holding back, it's a being with. So if I'm pinched off in the back, it's like I do not want to let this in. If I'm feeling some kind of discomfort in the front area, it's like trouble letting go, kind of, or like unable to fully release something, but also not resistant to experiencing it. So this heartache, I'm allowing myself to experience it. But I have not cleared the resistance fully enough for my heart to just be fully open and to like allow in the experience of life, allow in life force energy and let it flow out freely. And then, as I said, flow out freely, pinching off in the back of my neck where it's like, hey, I don't know if we really want to be completely open. I would love to have some discernment as to when we're open or closed. So that's my initial interpretation. But then when I say that, the feeling in my neck like persists, kind of almost like digs its heels, and it's like, no, you're not listening to me. So I'm gonna slow down and see if I can hear this part of me. It seems as though this part of me is open to the full open-heartedness, but that there is the main limiter is my cognitive ability to be with what is and not generate a story that results in some kind of pain infliction. I think a lot of my mental constructing has been around making sense of things that I didn't fully understand when I was younger, and have like since like held on, like, oh, that appeared to when I whatever story I made up at some point, maybe was true at some point, or caused ease at some point, or was like a superstition that seemed to ease the pain. And okay, so when I said superstition, there was a little protectiveness, like, hey, please do not diminish the value of everything that's happening here, all the ways that your mind serves you. So more pinching off in the back of my neck, and slowing down and wanting to understand this part of me, wanting to get its world, wanting to receive its wisdom. yeah, there's like just a lot of pain that has been experienced, and a lot of like this protector part of me that filters me sometimes to keep me safe. Like it is experienced like a lot of pain of that, of like being the one who's sort of applying the tough love to keep my system safe. As I say that, I just pinching off in the somewhere like in between my heart chakra and my third chakra. So I think there's like some pain that I haven't grieved. Okay. I say that, and the protector activates again. Hey, you're not quite hearing me. Okay. So now it's very squarely in the back of my third chakra. Whew. Listen to my third chakra now. Oh, yeah. Now there's like pain activated in the second chakra as well. There's like ways in which my identity has been crafted through painful experience, and I still hold myself that way. I still hold. Now some tension in my right trapezius muscle. I think that's how that's said. And the left to match it. Okay, just gonna slow down and listen to my body for a moment. There's like a system-wide message. It's like, when will our love be enough? Like when will the love of all these beautiful parts of me be enough? Sort of like, how long am I going to continue measuring my success in terms of how the world responds to me versus my felt experience of the world? And then there's some pinching off in my identity, or my third chakra around identity. That's like, well, but bro, we want to matter too. Like, try and get its world better. Okay. It seems as though there's a lot of resistance going on in my system. There's some degree to which I'm wanting to perform. I'm wanting this to be a fruitful example of paying attention to what's going on internally, because I have a desire to share what I know, what has come to serve me, what has come to allow me to reach higher levels of radical open-heartedness every day, and manifest, and a lot of times instant results, like instant shifts and things I'm desiring just sort of popping into my experience. Like I want that to be an option, especially in a world where so many people are struggling right now. Like I don't want to like say that all the real world problems can just be solved by opening your heart more. I think on an individual level, an open heart will allow for the receiving of what that heart is asking for. Oof. Like simultaneous happening of like in tune with larger collective desires, like species wise or wide or worldwide. Ooh. And like my own personal desire, like, oh, I'm not always like tuning into my heart's desire and aligning with it. Okay. All right. Got some more protector active in the back of the neck. Ooh. Just gonna slow down. So there's the protector seems active around like some patterned resistance around sharing what I want and having it met with in a way that I had a shame response to. Sharamuga ta uru tara shirunda yaru ngambata yaramutoro yapo tiarskari yapo cha. Sharamo, yarabo. Ha. 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 Water. Whenever doing process work, water's like the best drug you can give yourself, the best medicine. Well, like the three tiers are the three pronged approaches: water, aligned thoughts, and deep breathing. Like if you give yourself those three things, like when people say resourced, they're essentially saying those having those things, and a lot of the and then I'm thinking like, well, what about stuff like oxytocin and other like human physical needs? So there's a lot of nuance to resource. I'm not going to try to make sweeping claims about it, but I do recommend those three things. Sharamukia, darabo cheturto, arakabia, uba, abra, 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 abra. So what's happening now is you'll notice I'm speaking in tongues or light language or some intuitive language that I don't have a verbal vocabulary for or a linguistic vocabulary for, but I'm practiced enough to let that sort of language express itself through me without resistance, and feels very healing, and I get the instant gratification of allowing it. So it has been something I've allowed for years, and I imagine it's somehow similar to, just it seems like I speak the words and I feel something felt in me. It's like a felt response in my body. Like I'm reminding myself of who I really am, like on a soul level. And I don't think my soul speaks English. I mean, I'm sure it's fluent, or it has a way of translating the energy of English into something it understands. Chanaka putara chitara utara trunta tuntra tunta. Sharamuka ayamunara chintrabo. Ah, ah, ah. And like when I say these words, I feel like tingles in my body and this whoosh, habra, 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 habra. So there's no like on faith operation, or very little of it. It's on a felt. When I am surrendering to life force energy, when I'm surrendering to what wants to flow through me in the moment, it is not an act of like hesitant surrender. It's an act of like joyous receiving. And then pinching off in the back of my third chakra. It's not always joyous, but it is. I often use the analogy of it's like a hose that hasn't had water run through it all winter. It might have some mud and gunk and like bugs that like crawled up it when it was out of use. So when you run it for the first time in spring, there's going to be some gunk that comes out. And that gunk might not be joyous. It might not be something you want to drink from, you want to overflow your cup with. But if you just allow that hose to flow, it will eventually run clean and clear. Utra, utra, utra. So, what I believe is happening is that like there's some ways in which my system is organized that are not in full alignment of who my desires are calling me to be. And so I can cognitively have discussions with them, and then like, it's like being at a argumentative dinner table, and it's hard to get everyone's world at once cognitively. But then if I allowing in this higher language, it like speaks in a way that sort of transcends the strife that may be happening on a certain level, and is just like a like if God came down from heaven during the middle of a dinner argument and everyone at the table was capable of recognizing it as God, I imagine the conversation would shift quickly. So there's some like, when I speak that language, it's like an invitation for the divine aspects of each of these parts of me to become active. Okay, we got a little pinching off in the back of the heart here. Ooh, seems as though there's some care now. Some pinching off in the back of the neck. There's some care that that like it's all divine. Like the resistant aspects of my nature, even the parts that lash out, like ooh, even the parts that lash out. So when lashing out occurs, that is like the cry for help, the call for the divine. Some pinching off in the back of my third chakra. I believe it is a resistance because there's a difference between, there's a desire for individuation and there's a desire to be fully connected. And sometimes I can conceptualize surrender as giving up of the individuation. When really it's like an instrument allowing, like when air blows through a saxophone, that saxophone is directly sculpting the sound that comes out of it. And the way that air, ha, 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 the way that air comes through it definitely sculpts it as well. But you change the internals of the instrument and what comes out is different. The same with receiving. The same with receiving a divine energy flow. Like it is coming through the unique signature of your being. So, individuation. Okay, well, I gotta be with this protector. Kapurta, tiistrovu chanturulvaka. One of this protector's gifts is it can notice like the subtlest offness if I'm saying something that is not quite a perfect translation of the divine inspiration coming to me. It will inform me. Such a beautiful gift. Okay. So, notice my body is moving in a wave-like format. It's like this pinching off. Kashita, shitrata, shitrata. Oof, oof. Yeah, the pinching off in my third chakra. Like, seems to be around this level. Or kapacharato, ompa, apo, papa, papa, papa. There's some sort of a dance going on between who I am or who I see myself as and who I allow myself to be. Shadma, shma, guruta, bucha, tarka. It's like clearing some space out of my heart. Kapura, kapura. Istra, istra, istra. There's some there's some slight resistance around I thought this would be a quick little shift, It was just some pitching off in the back of my back of my second chakra. And now it's turning into this whole layered, complicated affair. And what I'm getting is dude, if your intention is to allow Kundalini awakening energy to flow through your system, it doesn't just go through one chakra, it goes through fucking all of them. So it would be wise. Is that how it's phrasing to me? That's my cognitive way of framing it. But so in honoring of our system, we are going to find alignment throughout the entirety of our central channel, so that when we open up, when we open up to this Kundalini awakening energy, if we find the alignment and we so choose to open up lovingly to the Kundalini awakening experience, It will be one of joyous receiving, not of like painful trying to catch up to, trying to um, like if too much energy will feel overwhelming, but proper alignment will naturally bring forth more flow of energy. So I'm like raising the freeness of the flow of my being so that when energy comes coursing through it, I will be, there won't be like pain points for that energy to hit up against. Or there'll be, yeah, so just soft, gentle clearing out of the, sort of like if you're gonna like, if a city is like gonna like flush a sewer system and there's like homeless people living down in the sewers, like it would be kind to the system to be like, hey, would you care to like gather your belongings and exit the sewer so that we can flush it, and then you can return after if you want, or maybe you'll find life above ground better. But either way, we don't want we don't want what's important to those parts of us. I don't want what's important to the parts of me that aren't fully in alignment to be swept away by another part of me's desire to have a powerfully aligned experience. Okay. Papa, 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 papa. So I'm noticing a little impatience. Maybe. Okay. I'm back in this wave-like spinal movement, which does seem to be soothing to the back of my third chakra, which is my primary point of resistance right now. So a little resistance there, a little resistance in the back of my heart chakra. Oh, fuck. Oh. Echo. Yeah. There's like an identity level issue of like, do we deserve this much love? Like if the intention is to allow so much loving, healing, powerful energy to come flowing through us, like, do we deserve that? Like, we made a lot of mistakes in our life. We made a lot of things we wish we would have showed up differently too. There's a lot of unhealed connecting and unintentional pain infliction. So just being with that interpretation, that painful interpretation of like, basically like I am bad, and so I don't deserve the good. Or I have done bad, therefore I don't deserve the good. But it is like internalized. It is like a shame level. Like, so many people, especially in past romantic relationships, there's a lot of hurt from not being healed and like loving without naming needs, and then when having needs, sort of met with like just like an unexpected, unexplained withdrawal, or like just saying like, oh hey, yeah, let's do this together, and then when it comes time to like do the thing, it's like, oh hey, but I also have this, and I need you to meet this need. Like, oh, kushla. So there's an importance to um, yeah, if I want to regularly allow higher, faster moving energy to move through me, ikra, goop, goop, goop. Then shambuta, shambu. Then it might be important to tend to like the wholeness of my experience and to not abandon myself or pretend like I don't have needs because I'm trying to not have needs so I can be more easily loved, because I prioritize a need for connection over other things sometimes, and that can sabotage connection because those other needs are important too. So, just aware of all this, and okay, yeah, what do I need right now? What do I need to allow this to flow through? Yeah, okay, yeah. I need to just allow myself to like this isn't. We're not going to control what this experience is like. We're going to flow what it is. So there's some letting go, and there's something like, if I have a fear of looking bad, I'm going to gate my experience. I'm going to be like, nope, can't do that, can't say that, can't look like that, can't get all crazy, can't start writhing in orgasmic pleasure on camera. Like, nope, that's not appropriate. That was bad, Josh. Like, so it's important to like clear all those out so that when I have this experience, it can be pure. Or my desire is to have it purely. Like, I really want to experience the Kundalini awakening. And while it's okay to experience my resistance alongside that, or my attempt to control alongside that, I feel a greater honoring when I imagine really surrendering purely to the fullness of the experience. And yeah, I have a couple hours until I have an obligation, so there's plenty of time for self-care afterwards. If I were to need to just rest and integrate, hydrate up here. So when I'm power hydrating like that, if I drink too fast, I'll like feel it in my heart, and like so there's some like care for not drinking too fast, and then also like if I drink an adequate amount, I'll feel some like tingling in my like neocortex area. My frontal lobe. Pusta. So, I'm actually got a lot of like kapru, like lightness in my heart. And also some releasing here. There's a little bit of tension still up in this area. The old think factory. By the way, I'm hydrating with a mixture of water and all natural sea salt. So kapusta anti barataka. So it's actually helping. If you drink too much water, and you don't have enough healthy salt to maintain that water. You like flush out your system, and then you'll. I used to experience this a lot. I would drink a lot of water and then feel dehydrated, and it wouldn't make sense, but it does make sense because it was just flushing out all my minerals, and I had nothing to kind of like hold the water in my system, so I was just peeing a ton. Kasupata pata. Ipla, ipla. Okay. Ooh, chikatlamba. All right. All right. I've never tried this before, but I'm like, the visual that's coming to mind is one of those like before they launch a rocket at NASA, they have all the systems that are go and no go. So I'm gonna just do like a go no go on all my chakras. Okay, first chakra. Maybe it doesn't work like that. So I say that, and now I have some pinching off the back of my neck. All right, so what's happening here? What are we protecting against? There's some like fear that we're doing the go no go thing out of like show, like it would be entertaining. Like it would be entertaining to me personally. All systems go, and then fantastic Kundalini awakening experience. Goes through. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Calling down. All right. So yeah, I'm actually I think I'm gonna do an all systems go a different way. Through what I have resistance to. Yeah, what's coming to mind is just to first go into awake awareness. Which is like unhooking from my ordinary mind. That is like very much tracking how it perceives this video will land with other people. Kapura. So there's like some definite control that will be lost by unhooking from that. I'm just gonna like sense into my system and be like, okay, like, is anyone like honestly afraid that stepping into awake awareness is going to somehow create something that we don't want? Like a little resistance here. Yeah, we don't want to be out of control. So I'm just gonna set the intention that stepping into awake awareness can be something of, because I want to remind that part of me that's like, oh, when I'm in awake awareness, it is like a tremendously joyous, amusing, curious, like it's all positive. Okay, I hereby give this protector permission to bring me out of awake awareness if it from that awakened state deems it necessary. All right, so that part's on board. Pinching out from the back of my third chakra. A little fear that maybe I won't do it right. So now there's some pressure. Oh, lots of like shoulder shooting right now. Oh, ooh, maybe this is like releasing it. Oh, this feels kind of good. Oh, man. Now I'm like, there's like a mind judgment of like, I'm so high maintenance. I got to do all this work to get ready for a life-changing experience. Now I just set the bar at life-changing. Like, but actually, I want to like reframe that. It's like, okay, this is like the work. This is like if you want to experience a more awakened experience, there is some preparation. There is some being with where you're at. You don't just like go into the cave and have the instant life-changing experience. You need something that invites that. which could be plant medicines. It's a popular method for a lot of people. But it also can be like the just tuning into that level of consciousness. Like when I said plant medicines, my system started to let it push that like, oh yes, like those medicines are transmitting at all times, and I could ingest them and have like a very felt like take a one-way ticket to the full experience. But I can also tune into them. And receive the blessing of that transmission. In preparation. For this Kundalini awakening experience. And I'm like noticing a lot of movement in my hips. I'm going to see if I can adjust this camera a little to get some of that hip action in play. This mic out of frame. Gopa kapru. Just like, alright. Okay. Chatita, chita. Okay, so some tending to reality, and now back to connecting with plant medicine. So I'm just, I've never done ayahuasca before, but that is the frequency that I'm choosing to tune into. And so, like, just to share how so I've never done ayahuasca. How could I possibly have access to the transmission then? And my answer to that is like, oh, I've garpupa. Slowly adjust this one. I have been around people who have had access to that. So I've experienced the transmission through other people sharing their experiences. Which is really all you need. So, like, honestly, like, our systems are so communicative. Human beings are so connected. There's really no difference between imagining an experience and experiencing an experience. Like, the same things fire in your mind. So if you can tune into a transmission, it's a similar thing. And granted, your ability to tune fully into a transmission and have that complete like release and letting go, like, I don't imagine I'm gonna end up throwing up or shitting myself, but it's possible. So, but either way, I want to like waft in that energy of like, oh yes, my identity has been built on a lot of things, some of which are actually a lot of which I'm not conscious of, and there'll be some kind of like a scrambling of consciousness. Is my imagining. I kind of want to stop talking about it because I don't know, having not done the actual drug or the actual plant medicine. I want to recuse myself from speaking more on it. But nonetheless, I'm going to tune into it and receive its fucking blessing. And I'm laughing because like the next thoughts were like, because I'm worth it. Like, so there's some releasing of unworthiness. Ukachitata, ukachita, ambo rapo barata chambo toko, ukotoko. Yeah, and with that, there's some activation of, like, who the hell do you think you are? Like a definite shame response is active. It's like right here, like strong, just like, opa, oh, ooh, okay. Just breathing, centering, hydrating. Ipra. Okay, good thing I had so many water stream. And I'm shaking the water to just get the salt mix right. Otherwise it'll taste like not salty at all at the beginning and then too salty at the bottom. All these life pro tips. Okay. This is just whatever wants to happen in the moment. I'm not tuning into anything other than the moment. A little self-conscious about my judgment that whatever's happening is some form of dance. And my relationship with dance is sort of like, when I be in the moment, I tend to get validated responses from people. Oh, but there's still that like seeking of validation. Like, I know that I'm gonna look, I know that I'm letting loose or something, but I need to know it's okay because I'm letting go of control. Please tell me I'm still lovable. Oh, you like my dance moves? Thanks. Now I know I'm lovable. I'll dance more. Okay. Oh yeah, that's some like pain in my heart. Like so much of my life spent like trying to track my lovability and improve that. Like, I've love to give, and yeah, the love to give part is easy, and the love to receive is a little more questionable. I mean, I don't deny that I want more love in my life. Part of me wants to deny that. Part of me wants to be like, I can just tune into divine energy and get all the love I need. And then there's this other part that's like, man, oxytocin's amazing. Like, asabakachabo. I definitely have physical touch needs. Just releasing some energy in my heart. I also noticed that like sometimes when I'm holding my heart, it kind of feels like I'm wrapping around my neck. There's like a choking off of my neck while being with my heart. I'm noticing like the beginnings of just like pressure in my head, which would normally, which could be the beginnings of a headache, but in my experience, proper hydration, clean thoughts are adequate preemptive measures. To keep my mind in good feeling, or I guess my brain in good feeling condition. Ikra. sharabuta, sharabuta, sharabuta. Ha. Kiramora pochitara nyara tudura pochina nara iranano yambo yarambo yambo yambo ambustra yamaba pa kukra kampu patja astakata Some resistance active. I think it's perfectionism. Part of me is aware of, like, there's a road not too far, and I'm hearing like traffic on that road, and it's like, even though I have a noise gate on, so you'll only hear that background noise when I'm speaking, so it won't be obvious. It's like perfectionism bound, which is just another response to not good enough. So maybe I need to allow a worthiness upgrade prior to a Kundalini awakening. Kostrupa Abu. And maybe I need to give myself permission to not like go all the way in this session. Like, although when I say that, I feel pinching off in the back of my, in between like this kind of third chakra. Kapushtava. It's more like a third chakra. Like no, like we can do this. We are capable. Like we have stamina for this. You think that the video is going to be too long, and you're trying to like not make too long of videos because you want people to actually watch the thing because you want to share stuff. Okay. So just allow my body to freely move to release as much resistance as possible. As allowable was the word that wants to be spoken. It's possible to release all resistance, but allowable. It's like, what is my system actually ready for? Not like, not how loud can I turn the speakers on in my car, but like, what would actually feel good to my ears? I'm pinching off in the back of my heart chakra. Kapra. Okay. It's actually like quickly arc my back over this yoga ball. Ooh. There's something that feels good about letting gravity kupra. And gravity assist my opening so freely. Just like release tension in the back of my heart. Get like stored physical tension. Kashira torupa. Garapu. Now there's some heartache actually. I want to have heartache. Kashirabata. Yeah. The way I'm holding myself right now indicates a trauma response. Like, So yeah, little old old trauma isn't quite the proper term for it. Long held trauma. It's coming up to be released. Sympathiamo. Oh. Oh, fuck. Uh, 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 like I'm pulling something out of my heart. Or letting something be pulled. Chata, 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 chata. Gambo, Korbaka, Ambutata. Hoping I could just like pull it all out in one fell swoop. I have some tenderness in my second chakra. Yeah. There's a lot of it's a tie between like heartbreak and like shame of sexuality and like, and I say that there's a lot of tension in my shoulders, like this idea of who I should be as a human being, who I should be as a sexual being, who I should be as a open-hearted being. Yeah, fuck, there's a lot of shooting around open-heartedness, like you should only love people who love you back. Like it's like saying you should only start businesses that make you more money than you invest when you start them. Like it's not a perfect analogy, but it's personally I've benefited a ton through opening my heart to people who aren't currently available to love me back, especially with exes where there's been heartbreak. And little known fact, when I made my commitment to live open-hearted, which was like 12 days ago. It's an hour of making that commitment. An ex who I had the most heartbreak with. So much heartbreak. Oh, so much painful heartbreak. So much like trying to figure out who I needed to be so that she would still love me. Which is not like her fault or anything, because like she wanted to be with someone who was not that. Like she wanted to be with someone who was really in himself and really in his divine masculine, not someone who would just conform and be whatever he needed to be loved. Anyway, within an hour or two of making that commitment to be fully open-hearted, she messaged me out of the blue, first time in 3 months. And like this pain in my heart transformed into this open channel of love. It's been like a practice of mine to just make sure that or when I think of her, to be open-hearted enough to flow love, even though she moved like 1,000 miles away, and I don't think we'll ever get together again, and it's probably for the best. So yeah, just having that open channel of love, like it is completely okay. It is in my divine nature to love and to close that off because of past circumstances. That is not in alignment with my divine nature. That is in alignment with my formed narrative. feeling some like power in my heart chakra, just like permissioning the cranking up of it. Like activate the fire energy of my heart that is just like capable of loving, like it just like burns away impurity. Kupra, kupra. Now there's like a protector activated with the fire in the heart, because fire energy can be destructive. And destruction is bad. Oh. But if that were true, like every structure that was ever built would then be maintained. It would never be okay to like demolish a building and build something new, or clear out something old in favor of something now desired. Yeah. So yeah, just a couple hours into open-heartedness, received that divinely timed message from my ex with the most heartbreak with, my most recent ex. And then the next morning I woke up, got a text from my next most recent ex, second most amount of heartbreak. She sent me a very loving message. First time we'd spoken in like 6 months. And yeah, she also requested that we continue with limited communication, so I didn't like fully open my heart to her. But I was like enough of like, okay, within 24 hours of committing to living fully open-heartedly, I get two messages from two people who don't talk to each other, don't even know each other, I've never met, who just so happen to also be the people I hold the most heartbreak with, and they both like basically invite me to feel and flow love again. Okay, so yeah, I think the nature of this, what is calling this pre-Kundalini awakening experience. Kapu, kapu, kapu. Yeah, definitely having a heart that is capable of choosing to love instead of needing permission to love. Permission that is granted through socially acceptable circumstances. Yeah, that seems like a. I don't think I want to limit myself to socially acceptable love, or love that matches the narrative of the people who've been hurt and speak from those wounds, and they're like, don't waste your time loving people who don't love you back, which is understandable, but I don't think love's a waste of time. Capri, pacha, woo. Okay. With that, I'm going to pause the recording and take a bio break. Okay. Whew. We're back. There's some tenderness in my heart. I don't want to have to justify whom I love or why I love. I want to be able to love freely. Same way I breathe freely. I kind of have to justify why I'm taking this breath. I don't have to be like if someone told me you need to be in fresher air if you're gonna breathe, like you deserve better than that. Like, okay, like Sure, I agree. I mean, I love fresh air too, but like it's kind of important that I keep breathing, and as long as there is a certain degree of healthiness to the air, which is true basically like everywhere on Earth, unless you're underwater or in crazy conditions. It is perfectly healthy and okay to breathe. Abruka, abruka bracambo. Ah, okay. Ah. So notice my energy is fading a little. I imagine that is because of resistance. Um, maybe I need to ikrak, 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 ikrak. Kabru, kabru. Ah, mm, mm. Yeah, maybe I need to like let this be just the prep session. Capri, capri, capri. And then dive more deeply into this another day or another time. Oh, oh, it's such pain in my heart. Maybe I'm just gonna be with this for a moment. Like, mm, ha, yeah. I want to give myself full permission to love everyone who's hurt me. Ooh, ooh. Or more accurately, everyone who I've experienced hurt with. Capriya, compra, compra, compra. Oh. Mm. Well, that means I get to love myself too, because I'm my own leading cause of hurt. Oh, oh, oh. Mm. Okay. Okay. Allow myself to receive energy. Like, stop trying to do Healy shit for a second and just like feel energized again. Ah. Hmm. 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 Ooh. 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 Yeah. I notice my hips like rocking. It's like a sexual motion. Ooh. Pinching off on the right side of my third chakra. Kaparaka. Kinga bochu. Kinga. Mmm. 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 Yeah. Mmm. I think so often I associate healing work with like gotta get into the deep shit and love it up or release it, and it's like a almost like a dressing of pain points rather than on receiving or acceptance of pleasure possibilities. So in this moment, I'm just like, yeah, healing can be so deeply, juicily pleasurable. That laughter is around releasing resistance. Like, oh, do we deserve pleasure? Is it okay to have pleasure? Is being pleasured embarrassing? Kapustra. Ah, ah. Ooh, sha, sha. Ooh, ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Whew. So yeah, there's a lot of hip thrusting going on. Ugh. Ah, ah, ah. It's one of my favorite things sometimes is just letting my body move how it wants to move. It'll also affect my breathing. And I like automatically go into altered states of breathing. Like just because like literally I'm like moving like in ways that's affecting my diaphragm. My energy wants to get really big. Some pain in my back of my second chakra. It's like when I feel into that pain, there's like a desire to collapse. I'm like, oh no, man, it's not okay to be this. Some tenderness in my heart. Yeah. I'm just slowing down to be with these parts of me. Kustra puta. Nye. Lu. Na. 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 Super. Citara kultura siapa tu. Ku. Kapura, nia, kupra, 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 ha, 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 nje, auto, areti mobaga, auru, aru, aru, aru. Oh, fuck. At a choice point right now. It's like, I've been given the opportunity to choose to deserve this. Oof. Oof. Yeah. I can choose to let divine loving energy flow through me. Sentra boca chan lora po papa rientra voto. Usuk pakata as normalta. Buka pacha tapato. Kukra, kukra, kukra. Strumba, strumba. Yeah, there's some desire to preserve the tenderness of my heart. Like, just like really be with, maybe kind of mourn all the hurt and heartbreak. I imagine the more consistently I'm in a place of aligned pleasure, the harder it will be to access that. So it'll be almost like losing access to felt experience. Like I won't be able to revisit this heartbreak in the same felt way ever again if I allow myself to like really open up to consistently higher levels of receiving love and divine pleasure. So I'm just like slowing down to like be with all the like, oh my fucking goodness. Ooh. Like the beautiful, exquisite, like destiny carving heartbreak. Like I still got chat. Like okupahan itra wumba ki anchit hopa pata achabutu. Oh yes. Like oh baby, 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 baby. Oh fuck yeah. Like just oh yeah. Oh my goodness. There oh fuck. There's like a joy and intensity to the pain here. Like oof, like oh, how like stretched. Kapuka, kapuka. Like how much bigger my heart got through being with that pain. Through having experienced it, stretched it beyond its previous capacity. The stretching of like the wanting to love and then something painful happening that justifies stopping the love, and then the pain holds this in place, but the desire to love keeps going forward, and there's like that ever widening gap. Korupa. And then there's the choosing to love again once more. I think the deeper wisdom is like the thing that stretches your heart. Kabru, abu, abru, abru, abru. Just yeah, like loving the thing that stretches your heart, then like gives. It doesn't have to be painful stretch. It can be a loving stretch. It can be like an intense pleasure, like something that would happen like if you're being tickled, right? You're being tickled in a spot that's not used to having sensation, and it's getting very, very stimulating sensation, and it's overwhelming, and your system can't handle it. It's often how I experience a physiological orgasm too. Like the pleasure is too much that I literally have to like reset my system. Like I have to hit the emergency stop button and ejaculate so that like I will release the pleasure will stop. And sometimes the intense pleasure the orgasm can almost be painfully good. Pintar, 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 pintar. So feeling into my delicious, painfully pleasured heart. Broken open again and again and again and again. Gastru om basitrati harumpa. Each time that breaking open, creating space for even more pure love. And every choice point, right? Every resistance is only ever there because more flow is possible. If the flow was just consistent to what you've always allowed, you wouldn't even notice it. You wouldn't have any problem with anything. When there is a flow that's greater than what you're currently capable of allowing, you'll either allow it and feel instantly better, or you may resist it and feel the resistance and feel the pinching off and like be like, what went wrong? Like things were going so well. It's like, yeah, things were going so well. You stoke the desires for more than your past self was capable of holding, and now your present self can either allow what you want or resist it a little. Capri, capu, capru. And it's totally okay to have some resistance. And it's totally okay to release that resistance. Kashitaranto un poco pa. Oh. Okay. Go oomba, 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 oomba. Yeah. It's nice to slow down and be with these parts and tend to the body with plenty of water and Alright, I'm gonna get some more water because I just drank 3 24-ounce waters. And if I take another bio break and continue the journey. Yeah, I became aware of my little self-care break, or just bio break. I just got water and urinated. Became aware that there's a part of me that's like looking forward to going back to doing something that's small. Like let's just play a video game in a very fixed, certain universe where all the rules are laid out and everything is consistent, and there'll be some soothingness there. Whereas like in this world, it's like anything's possible. I could choose to, in the next hour or so, choose to like completely open myself up to this Kundalini awakening experience and perhaps never be the same again. I think that's why it's important to kind of like slow down and like say goodbye to some of the heartbreak, like really thank it for the ways it served me, and some love for the amazing people who helped me, who are willing to go into the depths and experience the Capri. Yeah, just I'm noticing from drinking all this water, salt water, that I might get a little diarrhea thing going on here. I guess it's some flushing of the system. But yeah, prior to that physiological noticing, there was a noticing in my heart of just like love for my exes. Oh. Whew. Yeah. A lot of appreciation for their willingness to go deep with me and have these experiences that not everyone would want to go to. Like, imagine if I had chosen partners that weren't agreeable with a certain level of intensity, that I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today. And now also I'm like, well, maybe they weren't that agreeable. Maybe they just love me and they put up with it for longer than they would have liked. Regardless of the case. What is what is, and what's now is what's now. go indulge in some flushing of the system. I see what wants to come out. And then, yeah, be fully flushed and present for what happens next. Okay. The system has been flushed. Yeah, feeling some gratitude for just this process and like what is available when I slow down and allow myself to really be with the wisdom of my body, to be with my desire for greater connection, greater self-love, greater allowing, especially of stuff I may have pinched myself off to due to shame. And there's sort of like a reclaiming of the fullness of my sexuality that is seems to be available. Whether or not I will choose that. There's definitely some resistance active in my system. Especially because, like, yeah, like the fullness of my sexuality was often met with, like, resistance or, like, thoughts of, like, I shouldn't have been sexual as young as I was, or I shouldn't have been sexual around other boys, or yeah, well, a whole lot of a whole backlog of resistance there, which I could choose to be with fully, knowing that I'm not. It's not always going to be available. It's not. I'm gonna once I process the resistance, I won't be able to enjoy it again. Right? It's like eating food in the fridge. Like, so yeah. Let's enjoy. Oh. Some like cognitive dissonance, like around I think part of me wants to like be cool and try to be all the things that the most other people would want to be, so that I get the most validation, I get the most opportunity, I get the most acceptance and access to cool things. And yeah, just recognizing that like that form of currency is not really what will satisfy me. Like having people think you're cool doesn't do a lot. Doesn't do a lot for the soul, or at least my soul. And it often involves like hiding aspects of myself or showing up in a way which I could consistently rely on others liking it, or developing myself to be funny or entertaining or articulate or someone other people would enjoy being around. Which I guess it's fine to be all those things, but I've been really given fully being myself as a priority over all other options of how I could be a fair shake. Yeah. Kushtarwacha. Oh, God. It's like an endless amount of resistance to work through. Or, the way of putting it, there is ever increasing opportunities for beautiful sensation and pleasure. And starting to get impatient with the resistance, and I just give me the fucking pleasure, man. Like, I'll pick up the pieces later. Just like hit me with it. Give me the good shit. It's a little pinching off in my third chakra, which is just like more identity stuff. Like, I want to control my identity so that I don't beat myself up, basically. Like, diminish my self-worth because, oh no, I sort of so uncool. Reminds me of an almost famous quote spoken by Philip Seymour Hoffman. The only true currency in this bankrupt world is what two people share together when they're uncool. So let's get fucking stupid. Oh, I feel pain in my shoulders saying that. Like, oh no, we can't be that. Like, collapse in my system. Like, no, I don't want to be that which invites ridicule. Please love me. Yeah, it's like deep pain in my shoulders, and like this shoulder is clickety, and this shoulder is painy. Do I have to? Like, do I have to let go of the reliable being cool algorithms in order to, like, be really happy and truly joyfully myself? Do I have to? Okay, so what does being cool give me? Access, safety. You know what's probably pretty safe? Like, not sabotaging myself. Which is what I will do when I try to do things that will gain me approval, like strictly for approval gaining purposes. Or I try to sometimes I try to accomplish things so that I will feel more lovable. Like, once I accomplish X, Y, and Z, then it'll be like, well, look at my fucking resume. All right, pour on the love. Like, look at all those things I did. Guess who has proof that he's lovable? Mr. Accomplishment. And this is probably that just like totally rejects that. It's just like, we ain't gonna do shit, and we'll see if we end up getting loved. And I make an executive decision. Final call. Any other pockets of resistance want to reveal themselves and be lovingly released? Back of my heart chakra. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Full permission to love freely. Trying to give that to my heart. Yeah, love freely, and yeah, not tell myself I did anything wrong by loving freely. Yeah, I can love all the hurt and the pleasure, and I can make my heart so big. Yeah, if I make my heart big enough, there's like, even if it's pinched off in certain areas, there's enough other flow. I don't want to pinch off. I want to love and accept it all. All right. I'm just gonna go for it. It's been shooting this video too long. I'm starting to get tired. I got a call in a little over half an hour. Let's get some Kundalini rising. That's the old laughter, release of resistance. Like, ooh, yeah. Oof. 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 Ah. Ooh. Ah. Ha. Oof. There's like some resistance. It's like, we're just making ourselves doing it. We're faking it. But it's kind of like laughter yoga. Like you start doing it a little and then like you kind of get into it. Like, oh yeah, this does feel good. I just rock my hips like this. To pelvically thrust. Ooh. Just really opening my crown chakra up to also like having this be like a divine connection. Korapachicha. Charitra. Ooh. Sarupa. Ah. Marapuka chichambo. Ooh. Ooh. Feeling the energy of the earth down in my first chakra. Korupachunta. There's going to be this kind of like joyful merging or fusion between the divine from above and the earthly, primal, pure, material beingness, physicality, and spirituality. Oof. Oof. My legs are moving in ways that are like opening my hips, and there's like some pain right where my hips meet my pelvis, like ways in which I haven't stretched myself. Heart in the heart. Oh yes, gonna joyfully soak it up while I still have access to it. Like, give me that fucking heartbreak. Oh, yeah, you hurt me so good, baby. I notice in my mind there's sort of like this like desire to like, I gotta do the thing so I get the Kundalini rising. It's like trying to orgasm sort of, versus like just being so like wrapped up in the pleasure that all of a sudden it's just like, like almost like teasing around the pleasure, edging, and then like having the joyful release, like when like it's just like the timing is perfect and the desire is too strong to hold back. Whew. Noticing I might need to go out of narration mode, as I was just like wrapped up in that moment. I felt really full and good, and I don't want to like drop you as a viewer, as someone witnessing. So I invite you to just have your own interpretation of this and just really feel into whatever's occurring and whatever response it is eliciting within you. And I'm just going to fully be in my experience with me. Kapusta. And I love you. Cha cha cha. Kupra, kupra. Ha, ha, I, Murta, mona, mona, ikra, akurpa, akurpa, urba, apo, ormo cintara mopa, pitri chiapo, piti chiapo, cincha, kukra pakachatara, uanda tahastru choprata, kikra, kom, paparta. Cinjambo, kastu sani valtu glembo. Santa ukra, ukra, ukra. Baby. Yes. No. No. Shaunga bahata da botabo. Tikambutara chintarapupati bomba bomba bomba. Mista Bokucha. Shindamboga mindra bomba. Mindra bomburka. Chinja huka. Chinja. Sanja. Ita boka. Chiano. Tja. Shamboga. Oh, whew. This tidbit of wisdom's coming through. Like, it's always easier to do something when you're in alignment. So trying to do it out of alignment is like shooting at myself. Like, why? No. Like, Instead of that, like, just do stuff like this and just find the alignment. Give myself access to, like, I wouldn't try to put out a fire with a hose that had no water coming through it. Why would I try to complete a task when I don't have any energy flowing through me to complete it? No. No. Oh. Ooh. Oh, baby. Ooh. Oh. Oh my God. Oof. Oh yes. Chin Oh, baby. Oof. Oh, shukabachi, rumba. Ah, 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 tita buca di ciao, boruba, nombo. Desculpa, patrão, volta a fazer trampo. Não, pra cá, nunca pra cá. Amuba, uma, essa coisa, amuba, gaditamo, amugadamo. Sabe, kapuka, stripaka. Shamburai Jitapu Prateka Sha Adu 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 Alamakrapika Ku 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 Masta Sta Ura Ura Minta pupra mi mono ostrakacha nitro compara Akupra Akupra Che sta bocciata? Mustertje daar op parka, pinta briaplo con bola, pintister proki krachinja barato, alustomaka, ayambo baba mama buka bra, agukra. Esta ma coco pra. Wow. Yeah, I have a call in 15 minutes, and yeah, that was. I don't think what happened was a Kundalini awakening experience, but I do feel very, 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 very much more in alignment. My whole system feels alive, activated. Kushtra Bachatra Buddha. Kushtra. Like just online. Baby. Go Bushtra Bacha. Chigiraba Pupa Jita Pupa. Alright. I'm gonna wrap things things up here, I think. Some resistance to that. What's all that about? Okay. Just can actually create a space to speak some words of love to help integrate or make where I'm at feel more salient in my body. Salient, the word? I don't entirely know what that means. Okay. Oh man, does it feel good to love? Sometimes it's so easy to get caught up in something that appears to be more important than love, that appears to be more important than being who I really am, that appears to be more important than the pure, unadulterated self-expression of this divine being right here. And I just want to say that there's nothing more important than that. And that love is who I am. And flowing that love is the most honest expression of who I am. There are lots of reasons that often appear valid to not flow love. And I honor that that's how they appear. I want to honor that I hold beliefs that will encourage me to pinch off my love at times. I also want to honor that those beliefs have served me. They kept me safe at some point. I preserved some degree of innocence at a time when I didn't know how to preserve it. I didn't know how to think fully for myself and argue against what adults were telling me or what authority was holding me to. So I developed ways of protecting that which I held most dearly until some point, or some future version of myself, was able to unwrap that gift that was tucked away and feel the fullness of my own love once more, the fullness of my own being. Kashustrama cha pupa, tintika pupra, enchi, cha, tukra ka chicharo tu, pikrapo, njaru baga, ya, pustra centacra, kin de viabru tustra, punta pati, sha, tu krakbaka, sincha chucha, pukraka, mitar pupanda chichambo, alla wupaka hanti titu, stru. Shamburumba, Garbin Ramon Jarambo, Arambu Saram Jarugo, Yanambu Yanampurum Mara, Intin Yamarum Marusto, Janarabo Carapane Ratambo, Inyake Yaporostro Jinja, Carabin Ramo Zanami. Janambo Zarambi Naraki Indambo Nanamura Kokoro Enjabi Ngarabun Sharabum Barapi. appreciate those of you who are willing to bear witness to this process and lend your energy and love and curiosity to this experience. I just feel really touched. And like there's something really healing about knowing that you were willing to share this with me. And that I too deserve love and attention. Carbo.